Greetings, and please observe. If I make it to 50 subscribers, I'll give online guitar, me sitting here drinking and teaching people music and guitars and stuff, anything, and maths and calculus or the philosophy of Immanuel Kant. The analytic philosophy, because you can't get enough of a good thing. Well, sometimes you can. Preamps and all, you can't have too much of a good thing. But anyway, my friend Aved, my fellow alien, has a lot to be going through at the moment. It's a big business, there's lots of knobs. There's lots of knobs and those stuff, and there's loads of stuff. Loads of stuff to be learning. And he's making great progress, my friend. My protege, my good friend. So he has a nice little Line 6 kind of amp, and it's not crap. It's again, he'd use my headphones. It's so funny. A lot of things though, I got socks on them. My mum finds it so funny when I'm coming through the kitchen drunk at night and got these socks on my head. So yeah, you have a nice Line 6 amp. Line 6 are super digital, and Billy Corgan gave away all of this for his Line 6 black box. So Line 6, but then at the same time, Line 6 have more and more knobs and more parameters, loads more knobs and parameters than your typical crappy amp. Oh man, remember I told you, here's my feature. There's my actual. Remember I said I had a crappy. That's my first guitar amp. As you notice, it only has 3 knobs, so there's probably just a volume, a gain, probably has a drive, and a contour or something. That's where it all started. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through these things like amps because knobs. These are your kind of most essential knobs. Kinda, pretty much, they are your most essential knobs. And you kind of want to work from there and keep knobs working well. And that's why somebody in Mudhoney thinks, I think somebody in Mudhoney thinks it backwards. The Mudhoney Airband, but most people think of it forward. So, but then at the same time, by the time you change this pedal here, so this is where I go in, have it. By the time I change this guy, all of this is different. So it's massively complex, scientific to get a, what do they call it? It's not direct. Jamesy had talking about it. Continuity or something, or stability. Anyway, to keep levels all the same level. So when you start to get other pedals and things, you need to keep all your levels of the pedals all smooth. But anyway, only what I want to talk about was Avid's not so crappy Line 6 amp. It's probably pretty cool. It's got loads of stuff when you can probably plug it into your computer and program loads of channels and settings, and it's probably very diverse. But again, my friend Avid, my alien friend, is only beginning, and it's more parameters and knobs, way more. Line 6, that's why Billy Corgan likes it, because there's so many knobs and parameters, and you can. But if you're a beginner guitarist, something like the crappy Samick, or my other one, where's a little crappy Fender frontman? Fender still won't write back to me, but anyway. So balancing between things. Okay, I'm just going to go and just talk about amps, because all Avid really has at the moment is an amplifier. And I was talking about basic EQ. EQ is not my friend. I don't like EQ. I always kind of want like pure amps, amps, because so in an amp you have different stages. You'll have a power stage, an EQ stage, and then some power amp and different things. They're just different for now. They're just to do with volume and things. I want to talk about EQ. Do I have a Metal Zone to hand? I don't have a Metal Zone. Metal Zone is one of my favorite pedals. Go on, Mick Thompson, love you. But they're really, really difficult to properly tune, because it's a very fine EQ with sensitivity on the mids, and the mids make all the difference. And that's why I have this piece of paper here. So this is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece I'm working on. It's not exact. You'll see. Anyway, so my dad kind of taught me this, and I kind of learned it in maths in school. Positive graph. U-shaped graph. Negative graph. Now, I was talking to my friend Aved about graphic equalizers. I don't own a graphic equalizer, bro. But if you imagine this was on a sound system, and you've got these stripy things on a sound system, and you have these little dots, these what do they call things that go up and down, washery things, not washers. That's a graphic EQ. So if you set it like a U, it sounds awesome in my opinion. But Queens of the Stone Age and stuff set it like everything actually Queens of the Stone Age do all over the place. I know a secret tip of Queens of the Stone Age is they isolate this tiny bit in here at the very peak. They isolate that and they just turn that up really loud. And that's a secret sound, or secret to Queens of the Stone Age. Sounding so clean, direct, and not lo-fi, but concentrated. Don't blame me, blame the music producer, I don't know. Anyway, so you not graphic, and I think your little line 6 has a graphic equalizer. So again, it's more parameters and knobs for you to be worrying about. This is why some asshole called, I know some asshole, he's really just, some lad, some guitarist said my friend Aved's amp sucked and sounded crap. He's got a lot to be contending with, even volumes and knobs on his nice guitar and EQ. So I just wanted to make this video about EQ, okay? So this curvy thing goes from bass, middles to trebles. So if you have it this way, bass is high, mids are low, yeah, me, Mick Thompson. And then you want to be, I don't know, Kerry King, and have, or the Queen's Dungeon, have this really punchy one. Then you turn your trebles low, your bass is low, and your mids high. Ideally, again, because these are very even curves. That's not how Mick Thompson or Kerry King set it up with low bass, because everybody likes to turn it up. So this is just one, this is my amp. This is basically an amp here. I've got a volume, treble, middle, bass, a curve. And you'd see my two are very high, like a even curve, and this one's really low. So low that it's got this wonderful feature that mid cuts, so it goes super low. That's why I love this amp. Mid cuts, I don't like mids. But and again, on a metal zone, you learn to treat mids in different ways. So you can turn up the low mid really high. And yeah, that's why metal zones are awesome. Really selling it, Fender, really selling it. These are their first solid state amps. And they're great. Little tip on these guys, you can't do this probably with tube amps because you probably blow them up. Before I get playing and get warm and everything up, I turn up all the diodes a bit, gently. With nothing kind of plugged in, so it makes a loud noise, bring it all the way up to 10. Leave it roast there and you feel it all getting warm, really warm, like all the diodes, and then I start turn it down, and then I do the same over here. And I turn this guy up as well. Because the wonderful thing about this amp is, yay, I get to use all my knobs. I'd never use channel 2. I use pedals and a nice channel 1, and this is a lovely channel 1 on itself, isn't it? But I get to use both channels in parallel on this amp. It's so awesome. I bought one of these for 50 quid there not too long ago. I love this. Me and Johnny Greenwood. I had a dream where Johnny Greenwood told me, he's like, oh, you know, they make a studio version of one of these, which has loads of these kind of inputs and stuff in the back. Good man. All right. So yeah, you can go through more of these kind of things, okay? Channel 1 will always be something kind of clean, and that's where I started, just use a clean channel, and you can turn on your second channel, which might be kind of elaborate and distorted. So we got gain and then boost, an equalizer from here to here, with a mid boost. Ew, yuck. I don't even know why that's up so much. I was testing that out last night to see what it was like. Again, see, I got my U-shaped graph. It's high. It's kind of low. It's usually down there. I was testing it like I said. And it's high over here. And then you have some other fancy stuff on different channels. So you got like see, post EQ, contour presence, your volume. I always mess up the reverb tanks tinkering with them. So this kind of works. Just leave it off. I like try signal. Anyway, whenever you change one of these, the following ones will change. So it's really hard and scientific to be like thorough all the way through. What I kind of did originally was you turn everything down, but you don't even have knobs like these have because you're working with a kind of digital amp. Turn everything down to get familiar to an amp, and just turn the one knob up to see what it sounds like in different places, and stretch it out, and do it the same. Turn that down and go through all your knobs on your amp to see how everything sounds, and then you have to slowly kind of start working them together to make them all kind of gel. So like I said, it's massively complex. I'm a mathematician. There's fucking variables all over the place. So changing this one and changing this one and changing this one. Even this kind of inverts these two so they're like upside down, or you can. Yeah, they're pretty cool. 50 quid. No, this was 250. But Fender went right back to me. Continue to love. So yeah, balancing your EQs. Yep. Recommend a U-shaped graph. Pretty much. I do recommend a U-shape. Everyone's different, but I think my dad just took me aside when I was talking as a kid, and he had this big sound system, and that fucking rock solid, and fucking deck on top, and I even plugged my guitar into it when I was a kid, and it actually had this lovely, plugging into a deck. I was like, why is it distorted? And I plugged my guitar into it, and as a kid, I was like, it sounds, and it was recorded directly onto a tape, and it was distorted. It's like a JHS. A color box or something, but yeah, weird things. Robert Zubik was saying, but yeah, it had a graphic equalizer on it, and he said he always kind of, well, he just said like as a standard, but not to say like try to listen to my dad's advice, humble advice, and matter as words, and he just put them as U-shaped graphs. Now you can mess it up a bit, but I would recommend you keep it smooth. If you work in a studio or you see presets of equalizers, and you can probably get presets of equalizers without having to change the knobs on your thing. Line 6, as your line 6, you could program the EQs on your computer probably. It is a nice little amp, but it's very digital, considered. You'll notice loads of different weird presets for classical music, EQ, or live music and different things. But yeah, a nice, happy, smiley U-shaped graph anyway is what I recommend for setting your EQ. And then if you have two channels, I don't know. I always try to make one as clean as possible. I never use two. This is only just kind of bring some sparkle and slight mids. So I got two of them working, so I love, because I hate buying an amp, paying for all of this, and only using this. I was like a grungy kid. This is like fucking, I bought weird bass amps and things because I only wanted one good channel. And then I found this guy, so it's got parallel, so I can use all of my knobs together. I was like, bang for my buck. And not wasting knobs, going cold. So I don't know if that's any help. I try to culminate. You have a nice amp. You just got to mess around with yeah. And you can try each one. If you do have knobs, just try the treble on its own. Turn everything down. Try the treble, like a bit of volume or something. Get to know every knob and see, and then try to make them work together. And yeah, 88, baby. 808. Which is very similar to Mick Thompson. Yo, loving you, Mikhail. Alright, I'm gonna get a beer. Peace out. And remember, these will be live. Yes, live, daily. Yes. If I get to 50 subscribers. So, yeah, on all my humble tutelage. Alright, peace out, peace out.